人生って冒険みたいだよね。暑かったり早かったり、
ゆっくりだったり悲しかったり、
気分が良かったり悪かったりもするよね。
でも精神科医によると人生のどの面にも精神病のレッテルを貼ることができるそうよ。
そうなの？例えば
恋人と別れた後の落ち込みは鬱になりうるし、
人前で話すのに緊張する人は、
不安障害、
口数が多いとか活発な人は、
創病。
それはちょっとおかしいんじゃない？
その通り。
でもどのくらいの割合でそう診断されてるんだろう。
聞いてみよう。
How many people do you know that have been diagnosed with a mental disorder?
Diagnosed with a mental God, off the top of my head, maybe one person that I know who's been diagnosed with a mental disorder.
Probably just one.
So, yeah.
Maybe 2 or 3 people, maybe in the 3 or 4 range.
4 or 5?
Maybe 5.
6 people in the household.
6, 7.
10.
A dozen or so.
About 20.
How about 30?
Would definitely be in the hundreds for sure.
The total number of people that I know in my lifetime has been diagnosed with a mental disorder probably fall around the range of 100 to 150, and I'm 23 years old.
すごいね。こういうなんとか障害ってどこから来てるの？
精神疾患の診断統計マニュアル DSM からよ。これは943ページの書籍で、憂鬱や不安、喫音やタバコ中毒、雲恐怖症、悪夢を見る、数学が苦手、それに幼児の障害まであらゆるものが網羅されているの。すべて再解釈され、その多くが脳の障害と付箋レッテルを貼られているの。
でもある人は深刻な問題を抱えているよね。
もちろんよ。でも精神科医はどんな問題でも脳に原因があると考えているの。
ということは精神科医には人生の問題を精神障害と再解釈した本があるってこと？
その通り。
うわ、それじゃかなり科学的な根拠があるんだろうね。
と思うでしょうけど違うの。最近の精神科医の集会で彼らはそれを認めてるわ。これが証拠よ。
DSM is made up by committees of men who have political opinion, and women too, who have biases and political opinions. And so there isn't nearly as much science in DSM as there ought to be.
Like in the previous one, people had a meeting in the bathroom and they decided that something should be in there, and then they would go and propose it to the whole committee.
You have this kind of lumping together of several observations, and when you get enough of them in one tent, you got a diagnosis.
DSM system is not the real system of the diagnosis.
A lot of the disorders that are in there haven't necessarily been rigorously validated.
It's just the best tool that we have available, but it is not perfect.
It's so useless that if you give me a patient and the DSM, I'll make at least 20 diagnoses on the same patient.
You have to take it with a grain of salt anyway. It's actually getting more and more complicated.
We're left with diagnosing things on the basis of checklists and questionnaires, which leaves us sort of out of, as you said, the rest of medicine because we don't have a biological test.
すごいね。
DSM には科学的根拠がないという事実は明るみに出てるの。何人かの専門家に聞いてみたわ。
The DSM is a sham. It's been described as a house of cards. Why? Because the diagnoses are theoretical. They're not based on scientific measurements.
It's sort of a shaky level built on another shaky level, built on another shaky level.
It is flimsy and that it is easily collapsible under the scrutiny of critical thinking.
If you just pull one little fragment of the reasoning aside and question it thoroughly, you'll find it doesn't stand up, and then that means that the whole organism collapses because you've got some wrong premises in there somewhere. In fact, they're all over the place.
It is indeed a house of cards because it's predicated on not a solid structure. It is built to create an apparently legitimate edifice, which results in a diagnosis. But any serious inquiry will show it to be illegitimate.
Here, I tell you. With schizophrenia,
DSM が科学に基づいてないなら何に基づいてるの？
これは精神医学と心理学が医学として認められたいという願望から始まったの。
We psychologists have always desperately wanted to be accepted as a real science, as a true science. Now, what the early psychologists did was they looked around and they saw what other scientists were doing and they decided to emulate them.
Modern approaches to classifying psychiatric disorders dates from the 19th century. Nearly all the clinical concepts we have today originate from that time. Probably the most important of all was a chap called Emil Kraepelin, who worked first of all in Heidelberg and then in Munich.
聞いたことねえな。
エミール・クレペリンは精神疾患を分類別した第一人者として知られているの。彼は自分が脳による生物学的な病気であると考えたものを分類した最初の人なの。ここには今では統合失調症と呼ばれている創発性認知症、躁うつ病、妄想性精神病があって、この概念全てが現在の DSM にも存在しているの。
それだけ ?3 つの障害だけなの？
そう、3つだけよ。でもクレペリンの方式はすぐにかなり使われるようになったの。これを見てみて。
Kraepelin's system caught on very quickly, not only in the German-speaking world, but also in the English-speaking world in the United States and Britain. It caught on because up to that point, nobody had an agreed way of talking about patients.
So in the early 1950s, there was compiled Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. Now, there are very few statistics in the book. Disorder is used essentially as a euphemism for illness. This is a book which catalogues mental illnesses for which no medical sign has ever been discovered.
この初期の130ページの小冊子には112の精神障害が掲載され、現在の DSM と比べると小さいけど、クレペリンの構想をはるかに超えてるわ。
なんでそんなにあるの？
日常の振る舞いを普通でないものと定義するほど、精神科医は巨額の政府の予算を手にすることができたからよ。
日常の振る舞いを定義するって？
例えば、息を凝らす、爪を噛む、指をしゃぶる、無遊病、能率が悪い、それと同性愛まであるの。
馬鹿げてるな。治療する人を増やす目的でこれ全部付け出したの？
まだあるわ。次に DSM-2 が1968年に178ページに拡大して出版されたの。さらに政府の保険金を手にするためにね。これを世界規模にするために DSM-2 は国際疾病分類 ICD と特別に提携して作られたの。この ICD はヨーロッパや世界中で広く使われている本で、精神医学的診断の他に本当の医学的症状も掲載されているのよ。
そこで精神障害が主流の医学に認められたってわけか。
そこから始まったの。でも DSM-2 も科学ではなかったわ。これは実際の臨床試験ではなく、オーストリアの心理学者ジグムンド・フロイトからかなり影響を受けたものだったの。
それじゃあこの本にはたくさんの神経症が載ってるんだろうね。
そう。でも全くその原因に関する知識なんてないし、それを探そうともしてなかったわ。
Inclusion of a disorder in the classification does not require that there be knowledge about its etiology. So in other words, to make a diagnosis, you really don't need to bother with cause and effect. You don't need to know what causes the condition.
ちょっと待って。DSM がその精神障害の原因を教えてくれないなら、どうやって精神科医はこれを最初に発見したんだ？
これを聞いたら驚くわよ。
New diseases are being invented all the time, and I want to emphasize the word invented, because when it comes to psychiatry, mental illnesses are not discovered, they're invented.
The way the system works in terms of diagnosis is that every few years a group of psychiatrists and psychologists sit around in a room and vote on new diagnoses.
これが科学？信じられないね。
あなただけじゃないわ。
The diseases are voted on? What do you mean?
Did you say are they voted into existence?
Are voted?
As in created?
Oh, man.
I think that's kind of ridiculous. It's crazy that you would vote. I definitely don't agree.
I don't agree with it at all.
Mental disorders should be based on scientific research.
I have been led to believe that it's all based on medicine and science.
So I'm kind of shocked to find that out.
俺もだよ。
まだあるわ。精神障害が DSM に投票で掲載されるだけでなく、投票で除外されることもあるの。例えば、同性愛は DSM-1 と2に精神障害として掲載されていたの。DSM-3 の編集長、ロバート・スピッツァーがこう説明しているわ。
I came up with a definition in 1973 that made it possible to argue that homosexuality was not a mental disorder.
On a vote, essentially, at a conference of the American Psychiatric Association, it was removed.
Now, did they discover that homosexuality was not a disease through scientific processes? No. It was included for political reasons, and it was removed for political reasons.
And the end result is a vote. It's a supposed democracy. So to call it science is a complete fabrication.
DSM は権威的なもので科学じゃないんだ。
そういうこと。
精神科医は医者として見られたかったんだと思うよ。
その通り。だから自分たちのマニュアルをより科学的に見せなければならなかったの。
でもそうじゃなかった。それでその後どうしたの？
彼らは DSM の次の版を全く違ったものに変えようと決めたの。これは精神科医を永遠に変える決断になったのよ。
If you roll the clock forward to the 1970s in the United States, basically at that time psychiatry was in very poor shape for a number of reasons. First of all, it was held in very low regard by other members of the medical profession. So psychiatry was the sort of thing you did if you couldn't succeed in any other area of medicine.
And people such as Robert Spitzer in America made it very clear that the time had come essentially for psychiatrists, being doctors of medicine, to practice medicine. So if a psychiatrist was spending a lot of time dealing with people who were anxious, depressed, these dilemmas, these problems in living, now essentially had to be redefined. And they were redefined as medical conditions.
And their solution to this was to come up with a manual which defined psychiatric disorders more carefully. So, hence, we have DSM-3, which is the third edition, which was published in 1980.
スピッツァーの監修のもと、精神科医たちが編纂した DSM-3 では、フロイト派の心理学が捨て去られ、精神医学の診断は完全に生物学的なものであると定めたの。
それでやっと科学的になれたの？
いいえ、全く。実際、どの障害を入れるべきか、除外するべきかという権威的な議論がさらに馬鹿げたものになったの。これがそれに関するある精神科医の言葉よ。
They would squeeze into a room which was about half the size of this one. It was much too small. And Bob would raise a provocative question, and people would shout out their opinions from all sides of the room. And whoever shouted loudest tended to be heard. My own impression is it was more like a tobacco auction than a sort of conference.
DSM の決定権を持つあるメンバーはこう言ってるわ。
The low level of intellectual effort was shocking. Diagnoses were developed by majority vote on the level we would use to choose a restaurant. You feel like Italian, I feel like Chinese, so let's go to a cafeteria. Then it's typed into the computer. It may reflect on our naivete, but it was our belief that there would be an attempt to look at things scientifically.
もっと科学的に見える診断マニュアルを作ったけど、これまで以上に科学的じゃないみたいだね。
DSM-3 に含まれる精神障害の数は259に急増したの。でも精神科医は本物の医学であったという考えを売り込むために、彼らは科学的に聞こえる印象的な理論を作らなければならなかったのよ。
But with DSM-3 from 1980 on, there was the progressive medicalisation of psychiatry, and the notion of chemical imbalance was invented and essentially took hold.
本当に科学的なんだって？
化学物質の不均衡理論よ。これは脳のある特定の化学物質の不均衡によってどのようにうつが引き起こされうるかを説明するために1965年に最初に提案されたの。
それで？
ジョセフ・シルドクラウトが精神薬はこういった化学物質を変化させることから精神病はその化学物質が過剰に多いか少ないことが原因に違いないとして理論づけたの。
あべこべじゃない？
確かに。アスピリンは頭痛を抑えるから頭痛はアスピリンの欠乏が原因と言っているようなものね。
なるほど。
でもこれは精神医学と DSM-3 に科学的なオーラを漂わせるには十分だったのよ。ロバート・スピッツァー曰く、
Psychiatry felt now, gee, we're more scientific, we're part of medicine.
効果があったんだ。
そう。それ以降、精神科医と製薬産業はこの化学物質の不均衡理論を医学や国民に容赦なく売り込んできたの。
If you're one of the millions of people who live with uncontrollable worry, anxiety, and several of these symptoms for 6 months or more, you could be suffering from generalized anxiety disorder, and a chemical imbalance could be to blame.
Pristique is thought to work by affecting the levels of two chemicals in the brain.
It works to correct chemical imbalances in the brain, which may be related to symptoms of social anxiety disorder.
Cymbalta works on serotonin, and norepinephrine.
Hundreds of thousands of patients have been prescribed Abilify. Ask your doctor.
Ask your doctor.
Talk to your doctor. Call your doctor.
Ask your doctor about Cymbalta.
Prestique is a key in helping to treat my depression. Ask your doctor about Prestique.
You come to my office, and I say to you, well, you describe what's going on in your life and your symptoms, and I say, well, it's clear to me that you've got a chemical imbalance, and we're going to write you a prescription for this. The truth of the matter is, there's no such thing as a chemical imbalance.
There's no test out there that they can depend on that tells you you have a chemical imbalance.
There's actually, in fact, dozens of studies showing that there isn't any measurable imbalance. So psychiatrists will explain to patients all the time, this is just like diabetes. In diabetes, you have low insulin, we have to readjust the insulin level. In depression, you have low serotonin, we have to readjust the serotonin level. But actually, we have already proven that there's nothing wrong with the serotonin levels. It's completely a myth, disproven by our own evidence.
I had a psychiatrist. He said that, in his professional opinion, this child had ADHD, a chemical imbalance of the brain. And when he was questioned on the witness stand as an expert witness for the state, he was asked if they had done an MRI. He said no. He was questioned if they had done a CAT scan. He said no. He was asked if they had done any bodily fluid check known to medical science to prove that this child had a chemical imbalance of the brain. He says no. And when he was asked how he arrived at this ADHD diagnosis, a chemical imbalance of the brain, it came down to that he had counseled and observed this child for 2 hours, and half of the time was observing. How do you arrive at a diagnosis of a chemical imbalance of the brain by talking to a child and observing them for 2 hours? You don't, okay? It's pure guesswork.
うわ、本当の話？
自分で確かめてみて。何人かの精神科医に精神病に対するテストに関して尋ねた模様を隠しカメラで捉えたの。
Of any scientific test?
Not that I'm prepared to do this time.
So you getting that I have adjustment? What is it?
Adjustment disorder, mixed emotional thinking. It just means situational stress.
Right,
it's a formal diagnosis.
But I'm saying, just where do you get that from?
I take you at face value.
In terms of diagnosis, there's no way that I can x-ray or project or allow.
So it's very hard to have anything to measure, because whatever's going wrong, it's happening in there, and we just can't go in and open up, somebody's skull and scoop something out to measure.
Right now, we don't have an x-ray or a blood test. That doesn't mean that the diagnosis is not clear.
The diagnosis is for insurance, and I'm not really trying to think too much in terms of diagnosis. I don't really see that as my main job here, to make a diagnosis, except to give something to the insurance that's reasonably accurate.
But we don't even really know what's going wrong in the brain. So all the things that we found were found by accident.
びっくりだね。精神医学的診断は完全に個人の見解に基づいてたんだ。
彼らがやることなすこと全て間違ってるの。イギリスの BBC テレビではこんな番組もあったの。5人が普通で残り5人が精神病と診断されたことがある10人のボランティアがいて、3人の有名な精神保健の専門家が彼らを観察し、彼らの状態を決めるというものよ。
なんてこった。
見てみて。
We think that it's likely that you've had a history of bipolar disorder. Is that correct?
You're wrong.
Okay.
We've come to the conclusion that at some time you've been diagnosed with a mood disorder.
You're wrong.
We were wondering whether at some point in your life maybe that you had suffered from a significant psychiatric problem of some kind or other.
No.
Not at all.
You are wrong.
All right, okay.
3 wrong diagnoses in a row. After a whole week of observation, the panel have identified just 2 out of 5 disorders.
なんて科学的なんだろう。
まったくその通りね。
Okay, time in.
And I got a pair of compulsive disorders here.
精神科医は証拠を持っていないのに、どうやって彼らは証拠に基づくなんて言えるんだい？
そんなもんじゃないわ。精神科医には精神障害の裏付けとなる試験結果がないだけでなく、精神障害とは何か定義さえできないの。
嘘だろ？
DSM でも言ってるわ。見て。
Although this manual provides a classification of mental disorders, it must be admitted that no definition adequately specifies precise boundaries for the concept of mental disorder. There you go.
信じられない。
でも精神科医はやめなかったわ。DSM-3 から14年後、DSM-4 を出版したの。そしてその編集長はさらに精神障害という用語を曖昧にしたのよ。
There is no definition of a mental disorder. It's bullshit. I mean, you just can't define it.
自分のマニュアルのタイトルに使った精神障害って用語を定義できないのを認めたのに、さらに障害を付け足したの？
115が足されて、全部で374になったのよ。
DSM-1 の時の3倍じゃん。
しかもたったの40年くらいで。しかもこの本はおよそ 2kg 以上もあるの。
単ページ以上じゃん。
精神病の購入用カタログね。これで世界中の1億2000万人が精神病と診断されたの。
すごいね。でも国際疾病分類はどうなの？それにも精神障害が付け足されたの？
もちろんよ。この ICD の精神行動障害のセクションはほとんど DSM と並行しているの。DSM と同じように変化しているというわけね。
なるほど。今のところ分かったのは、精神障害の診断を確証する試験結果はなく、化学物質の不均衡理論を証明できず、彼らは精神障害が何なのかさえ知らないってことだ。
しかも彼らは少なくとも仲間内でそれを認め合っている。最近の米国精神学会の会議である著名な精神科医がこう述べてるわ。
You're sitting in your office, you see a depressed patient, you have no idea what's the matter with them. And I know all of you think you know the answer, but in terms of evidence, I don't know the answer, and I don't think any of us really know.
驚きだね。
でも彼らは診断をかなり素早く決めるのよ。これは同じ会議でのもう一人の有名な精神科医よ。
Jim Burley at the Maudsley Hospital did a study once on how long it took people to make up their mind about the diagnosis after they entered a room, and it was about how many, David? It was 2 seconds. It was a couple of minutes. It was very.
2分？
ええ。当時の米国精神学会の会長までも DSM はかなり冗談だと記録に残しているわ。
Well, what does D stand for? I used to think it is diagnostic, but over the last few years realized it is more like a dartboard.
ダーツの標的？こんなことを精神科医は患者に言ってるの？
いいえ。精神科医は一般の人には全くわからないようにしておいて、自分たちはそれに通じているふりをしているの。
I was sent to a psychiatrist who saw me again for maybe about 15 minutes, talked to me how I was doing at 7 years old, and I left with a prescription for Ritalin.
Probably within the first 15 minutes, he diagnosed me with having an anxiety disorder and put me on prescription medication.
The amount of time it took for the diagnosis was, I'd say, probably within 10 minutes is, I was diagnosed with anxiety, with depression, within 10 minutes of speaking to the psychiatrist, and I was put on those drugs immediately.
I received numerous different diagnoses from different doctors, and each one gave me a different drug.
I didn't have to undergo any tests. I didn't even have to sit there and I didn't have to ask any questions. It was just that's what you've got, and this is the drug.
They really didn't talk to me. They were always talking and questioning my mother. It was all about getting the information from her and not from me.
It doesn't make sense to me. I researched it, I done my research, and I still can't fully understand how you can diagnose somebody with a short attention span.
There was never an explanation. Nobody really knew what it was or why it was caused or how did you get it, why did anybody have it, and what could anybody do about it. Just here, have some medicine and go away.
And I was put on, a horse's dose of an antidepressant called Effexor, 450 milligrams a day. They say if you're on 300, you're comatose.
It wasn't always Ritalin. It went from Ritalin to like Wellbutrin to Concerta
to Adderall.
I remember asking these doctors, is there any other way we can do this? Is there any other therapy? Is there something we can do that won't make me feel so badly, that won't give me all these side effects and just horrible sensations through my body 24 hours a day? Is there something else I can do that might be not having to do with medications? Doctor said, no. See, what you have is very complex. You have a chemical imbalance in your brain that the only thing that can correct it is medication.
結局は薬に行き着くみたいだね。
そうね、現在精神科医の診断イコール精神薬となっているの。
The whole question then becomes, okay, if we apply these labels, what next? And the what next tends to be you get a prescription. And the prescription is for a drug that doesn't work very well and is toxic.
It's like a 1-2 punch. The number one of the 1-2 punch is the diagnostic manual. You've got all these disorders to choose from. The two is the treatment. So you've got the diagnostic manual in place, you've got a machinery in place, and then you've got this treatment that is there for the taking.
For everything you can think of that might seem to be odd behavior, the psychiatry field has a name for it. And then for every name of every diagnosis you have, there's going to be pharmacology behind it, and they have a pill for it.
Let me fan it out and pick a card, and there you go. Here's your label, and there's the drug that we'll give you to go along with that label.
98%, maybe 99% of people will get a diagnosis that justifies the use of a medication and also a follow-up appointment. Because remember, the business of medicine, the business of psychiatry is seeing patients. And the psychiatrist that tells a patient they don't have a problem and there's no medicine for that problem doesn't have a very busy practice.
And that's sort of the purpose of the DSM-345, to provide a diagnosis that can be given a drug for that patient.
It's a quick buck. You don't need to do a physical exam. You put it in the chart, it's done. Prescribe away. Lifetime patient. That's what the DSM is for.
DSM は薬物療法を正当化するためだけのものだっていうこと？
残念ながらそうよ。
わあ。じゃあ精神科医の主な治療法が薬ならかなり薬が処方されてるんだろうね。
もちろんよ。毎年精神薬の処方箋が6億枚も書かれているって知ってる？
そんなに？薬が欲しくない患者はどうなるの？
DSM にはそういうカテゴリーまで用意してあるの。
Says V15.81 non-compliance with treatment. Now this category can be used when the focus of clinical attention is non-compliance with an important aspect of treatment for a mental disorder or a general medical condition. If you refuse treatment, then you probably are mentally ill, ipso facto, by that fact alone.
じゃあ精神科医の言う通りにしないとそれが精神障害になるってわけ？
その通り。
おっかねえ。どうして治療に従わない人がいるんだろう？
精神科医が処方する薬はとても激しい身体的な反応を引き起こす可能性があるからよ。
副作用ってこと？
まあちょっと違うの。
Drugs really don't have side effects. Drugs only have effects, and we arbitrarily differentiate those effects of the drug that we like, and we say these are the effects of the drug. And those that we don't like, those are the side effects. It's akin to saying that a bomb that comes down on a building kills people and destroys the building, and the military general says, oh, killing of the people is really a side effect. No, you cannot separate out the destroying of the building and the killing of the people. And so these are not side effects, these are direct effects of the drug creating disaster.
People think antidepressants are going to make them happy, but it's not what they do. They numb them down, and then in themselves there's a withdrawal state from the antidepressants.
They just become like robots, some of them. They're not actually able to experience the whole variety and range of human feelings and emotions and work with them and express with them and share them with others. Because once you sort of put somebody on a heavy dose psychotic drug, I mean, you're just dehumanizing them.
These are very potent, very toxic medicines, cause on themselves diabetes, high cholesterol, and cause what's called a metabolic syndrome, truncal obesity, premature hardening of the arteries.
They affect the heart and the lungs and the kidneys, and you never know exactly what to expect.
Most psychotropic drugs lead to massive weight gain. Some of them, like olanzapine, for example, can lead to weight gains of 25, 30, even 40 kilos in a year or two, and that is serious.
One of the side effects is it affects your sexual performance abilities.
In people who are on a lot of medication, they're just totally unable to detoxify through their liver, and then other functions of the body shut down one by one.
These drugs have on their labels may increase risk of suicide and homicide in people who take them, just like a carton of cigarettes has to say may be hazardous to your health.
And there's cases where many people who commit suicide or commit acts of violence are on these medications, which definitely has this type of side effect.
You look at the side effect profile is identical to what they're trying to treat, and in some cases worse, and especially in the instance of suicide, then you could see that it's an extremely treacherous area with very, very little actual science behind it.
冗談でしょ？この薬は危険なんじゃない？
そう、精神医学に助けを求め、薬を与えられた何千もしくは何百万もの人々が最終的にはその命を破壊されたの。例えば学校のテスト前に神経質になったことでゾロフトを取ったキャンディス。スティーブンはプロザックを服用し始めてから19日後には自殺。大学進学を希望していたジュリーはゾロフト服用のたった7日後に首吊り自殺。マシューは13歳で首吊り自殺。マットは21歳にして様々な精神薬を取り、ケイトリンはゾロフトとトラザドン、ベスは不眠症のためにパキシル、マットはレキサプロ、シャールズはクロザピン、ケイトリンは12歳でメーガン、アロン。
ちょっと待って、正気じゃないよ。この自殺した人たちみんな精神薬を取ってたっていうの？
そう、毎年精神薬絡みで死亡した人の数は4万2000人に上ると推定されているの。
それって月に3000人以上じゃん。こんな薬店から取っ払っちゃえよ。
間違いなくそうするべきね。でも精神科医の主な治療法はこの薬なので、彼らはその危険性を軽視しているの。そして患者はその代償を負うのよ。
When you get on the psychiatric drugs, you feel just like you don't really want to live anymore. Like, just depressed all the time, and you feel sad.
You don't feel like you're in your own skin. It almost feels like you just want to come out of your skin all the time.
Get really bad headaches, I'd start shaking, I wouldn't sleep very well, I'd have nightmares.
I had started shaking really bad, and it was like uncontrollable, you know, and it's like, I don't understand why I shake so much.
It brought on the symptoms that I was trying to escape from, very severe.
I'd go through spells where I'd just be completely just dead. There would not be me there. I'd just be standing there and there would be nothing.
I think we all have emotions, happy, sad, you know, situational emotions in life, and it didn't allow me to experience them.
You don't experience tears, you don't experience a lot of laughter. It just makes life real flatline.
I described to a friend of mine as like waking up in a manila folder and it's a cloudy day. Everything is boring, unmemorable, unspecial.
It changed me. It changed who I was. It changed the essence of my personality.
You know, it just started making me worse. And I got in such bad fights with my brother. I scratched his face up and, you know, stuff like that.
I started to experience suicidal ideations almost immediately. And I had never had any feeling like that before.
I remember when I was at home one day, I had taken my medication and I thought about killing myself, and I got really scared, so I ran to my brother and I told him, and he just helped me and told me not to give up and to just keep trying.
And I actually thought that's maybe the one thing that I do have control over, that I could, you know, I could off myself, and I would be out of this roller coaster of an existence.
I have been raped. I have been coerced into doing things that I do not care to speak of. But just to put it in perspective, even having experienced that, the experiences and thoughts and loss of self that I had being put on Prozac was the worst violation I have ever experienced.
唖然だね。人は精神科医を信用しているからこの薬の影響を知らないんだな。
それだけじゃなく最近の研究によると抗うつ剤のような薬の障害に対する治癒効果は偽薬と変わらないことが分かっているわ。
ということは精神科医は DSM から選んだレッテルを人に貼り、それによって効果がなく、しかもあらゆる副作用が伴う強力な薬を与えるということか。本当にめちゃくちゃじゃないか。
ええ、確かに。それでも彼らは望ましくない振る舞いは化学物質で対処できると考え続けているの。当然精神科医は DSM にリストされた障害ごとに薬を売り込むことができるため製薬業界に気に入られているの。
こういう宣伝知ってるよ。どこにでもあるじゃん。
そう、でも彼らは障害まで売り込んでいるのよ。製薬会社では DSM に掲載された障害を宣伝し、テレビやインターネットなどで担当の医師に相談しましょうと促しているのよ。彼らは雇った専門家をテレビのトークショーに出し、最近の精神病の流行について語らせているの。さらにそれを新聞に売り込んだり、研究を実施するために精神科医を雇い、科学的に見せるように数々の障害を論文に書き上げさせているの。
人々が障害を持っていると考えれば精神薬を求めるだろうから。
その通り。
The pharmaceutical industry markets disorders because if you can market a disorder, then you've got something to sell your product to treat.
So people suddenly come to think of things they previously didn't regard as a disease state as a disease, go to the doctor, see the psychiatrist then prescribes the drug that the drug companies have received FDA approval for, and everyone is happy except for the patient.
They're all working together, the psychiatrists, the pharmaceuticals, and one feeds the other. So again, job security for the pharmaceuticals and also job security for the psychiatrists.
病気を売り込んでいるのは製薬会社だけじゃないの。精神科医であるジョセフ・ビーダーマンも小児双極という障害を作り上げ、注目を集めさせたのよ。彼は実際にこの障害は幼児が目を開けた時から始まると述べているわ。
双極性障害？気分の変動があるから？幼児に対して？
そう、9年以内にビーダーマン博士は以前の40倍もの数の子供に双極性障害のレッテルを貼り、その多くが最も深刻な精神病にのみ与えられた強力な抗精神病薬を処方されたの。
知らなかった。
DSM-4 を編集した精神科医はこの小児双極性障害の流行に DSM が関わっていることを認めてるわ。
Well, we learned some very, very painful lessons in doing DSM-4, but inadvertently, I think we helped to trigger 3 false epidemics. One for the childhood diagnosis of bipolar disorder.
手遅れでしょ？
多くの子供にとってね。そして精神科医が双極性障害のような精神障害は治らないと主張したことで、精神科医と製薬会社には障害患者ができたの。
自然とパートナー関係になったってわけね。
その通り。製薬会社はとんでもない額の研究資金を精神科医に提供し、その代わりに精神科医は精神薬による治療の診断を増やしているの。
Drug companies have become increasingly dependent on mental illness diagnoses in order to maintain their profit margins. And psychiatrists and increasingly clinical psychologists are more than happy to manufacture mental illness in order to make that happen. Hence, the increase in size of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders.
The strategy is how many people we can diagnose with a particular label that would be broad enough to include a ton of people in it. And the mentality behind that is the sale of the pharmaceutical drug, which eventually becomes the treatment.
These drug companies are making a lot of money, and they're spilling that money and sending that money to people that will help support their cause. So it's not a surprise at all that they have infiltrated so many of the committees within the DSM. These drug companies are making a lot of money, and they're spilling that money and sending that money to people that will help support their cause. So it's not a surprise at all that they have infiltrated so many of the committees within the DSM and so much of our own medical education.
ちょっと待って。 製薬会社が次の版の DSM にリストされるべき障害を決めている精神科医の委員会に浸透しているってわけ？
DSM-4 に関わったこの委員会のメンバーの 56% は製薬会社と金銭的なつながりを持っていたの。そこで新しく加えられた115の精神障害によってその会社は利益を得ることができたのよ。
だから薬で治療できるような診断が増えているんだ。
そしてその各障害の症状のリストも増えていっているの。
The whole world has been made crazy, really. We have these proliferation of categories which have become more and more encompassing, encroaching in ordinary everyday life.
There isn't a human being on the planet who doesn't have at some point, if not several points, in a day or a week, distress. It's part of being human. But to say that because you have this distress, that you now are diseased?
If you take a god man in India who wanders around with a shawl and meditates for 17 hours a day, drinks rainwater and engages in some kind of spiritual or religious discipline or practice where he might roll on the ground for 100 miles to a holy place, people there don't persecute those individuals. They accept them as people engaged in religious practices. But here, if you took those same individuals in India and you had them walk across a campus in America, they would immediately be arrested and put into a psychiatric facility because they're manifesting psychosis. This varies by culture.
What do we want to straitjacket everybody? Is everyone going to be the same? What about people that do have a little bit odd behavior? Is a little odd behavior bad or dangerous? It's just different.
You want this thing to cover, all manner of aberrant human behavior. So if you can cover every bit of it, then you're going to have the best chance possible to a billable unit of service.
ところで、これらのカテゴリーに当てはまらない人のためのカテゴリーまであるのよ。
そうだろうね。
This is number 301.9.
312.9. 292.9.
Bipolar disorder, not otherwise specified.
Gender identity disorder, not otherwise specified.
Disorder of infancy, childhood, or adolescence, not otherwise
not
specified.
Otherwise specified.
Not otherwise specified. What the hell does that say? They don't know.
It's kind of like a catch-all.
It's the garbage can for the leftovers.
There's even a box for people that don't fit in the other boxes.
To me, it's insane.
This is like rubbish to me.
This is scary to me.
This is hackery, quackery, dockery.
その他のカテゴリーが必要になるってことは、これは全く科学とは関係ないってことじゃないか。
そう。例えば、特定不能の ADHD、特定不能の摂食障害、特定不能の気分障害など。
You can always use the NOS, the not otherwise specified diagnosis, and that's a billable service.
Not otherwise specified means that you're sort of at sea to some extent on the exact diagnosis, meaning it doesn't fit into any of the categories you've established.
Unspecified mental disorder. You see, that's considered a disorder. Having nothing wrong with you is now a disorder. That's what this says. Can you believe it?
信じられないよ。特定不能の精神障害というカテゴリーなんて本当にあるの？症状に関して何も説明していない。それも精神病なの？
もっとひどくなるわ。DSM によるとそこに載っていない精神障害までも診断することができるの。
冗談でしょ？
これが証拠よ。
These diagnostic criteria and the DSM-4 classification of mental disorders reflect a consensus of current formulations of evolving knowledge in our field. They do not encompass, however, all the conditions for which people may be treated or that may be appropriate topics for research efforts.
It's even in the language of the introduction, it's basically saying we're trying to have a diagnosis to cover all the bases of anything that somebody could come in complaining about. Which is, again, entirely backwards from how medical diagnoses are come to.
DSM は医学とは全く関係ないじゃん。
そうよ。紛れもないマーケティングなの。
God bless the insurance company. You get these multiple personalities. Sure, insurance company.
Insurance billing, that's the big money right there.
まだいまいち納得いかないんだけど。精神療法は長くかかって高くて効果がなくて。
そうね。何年間も または一生涯にわたることもある大した結果も出ない精神科医の治療に法外な金額を払いたがる人なんていないわ。
その通り。誰が支払いするんだい？
ほとんどが政府や健康保険会社よ。
保険会社ね。
実際精神医療製薬業界のロビーストが保険会社は精神保険の分野も通常の医療保険と同等に扱うべきであるという法を通過させたの。
精神保険同等法ってやつでしょ？
その通り。でも経済的に言うとこれは大惨事なの。
So there's nobody who walks into a psychiatrist's office that isn't going to go out with a label. He's got 374 choices or so based on the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual list of symptoms. So he's got to fit you into one of those categories in order to get paid.
The DSM really should be called, how to bill the insurance companies, how to get money from the insurance companies. It's a list of codes, and there's a number for everything, and that number goes on an insurance form, and then you get payment for it.
The DSM is completely built into the system now because you can't get reimbursed by an insurance company unless there's a DSM diagnosis.
You know, a kid wets the bed, you can bill on that. They're going to have one called a skin picking disorder. You pick your skin, you can diagnose and bill on that. You know, you can always find a diagnosis and you'll always be able to bill.
Psychiatrist or psychologist can go through their book now and find a diagnosis code for just about anything. Everybody would fall into something that they could put a diagnosis on and fraud insurance companies.
なんてイカ様なんだ。
そうね。毎年精神医療業界は DSM によって合衆国政府や保険会社から1000億ドルもかき集めているの。たった一つの国でよ。
DSM がどうやって全般的な医療費を上げているのかが分かってきたぞ。
ええ。精神科医から保険会社への通常の請求金額は一般の医療の2倍に上るの。
だから俺の保険料が高くなるってわけか。
そう、税金まで浪費しているの。テキサス州の精神衛生保険プログラムは双極性障害のために処方されたたった1種類の高額な精神薬のためにほぼ破産してしまったの。
わあ、かなりの量の薬だね。
確かに。しかも DSM の診断はあまりにも独断的なので、もう一つの高くつく大きな問題、保険詐欺まで横行しているの。いくつかの個人経営の精神病院は禁煙やダイエットのクリニックに装って人々を誘い込み、しかも政府からの保険金を受けている人を捕まえてくるリクルーターに患者1人につき$3000も支払ってるのよ。そして保険有効期間が過ぎるギリギリまでできるだけ患者を引き止めているの。
これも全部保険金のため？
そう。一旦患者が入院したら DSM を使ってどれでも適当な診断を当てはめて治療を始めてしまうの。この精神病院の職員に装った人が撮影した隠しカメラの様子を見てみて。
I'll say patient display. That's how my opening is always a classic. Patient display. He's sort of what do you think? You think he's
I thought I've interacted with him a lot. I thought he's always appropriate. He's always.
But under behavior, what's some good words in here? He's not negative. He's sort of intrusive a little bit.
He's not really.
He doesn't push limits anymore.
He's really acting intrusive.
He acts sort of anxious. Focus on the negative.
And why should we focus on the negative?
Because that's how they get paid. I mean, this is what they told me. I mean, you write what you want to write. I know I got to write one. So I know what I have to write. You know what I mean? So that's why
Like, why do you have to write it?
So this place can get paid. It's a business thing. It's not like I'm lying, but I always like pull the negative out. Like
you're supposed to. They tell you to.
What? The negative?
Pull the negative out.
You pull it out of it.
これは倫理に反してるよ。
ええ。でもこれはこの詐欺の始まりに過ぎないのよ。ある精神施設の保険会社への不正な請求にはこんなものがあったの。患者に音楽を聴かせた費用、テレビを見せた費用、ビンゴゲーム費用、モーニングコールサービス、映画のチケット代、患者の海外旅費、他にも囚人や昏睡状態の人、またはすでに死亡した人に対する治療費まで請求しているの。
嘘だろ？
治療と題し、患者と性行為をしたことを請求したことで逮捕された精神科医もいたのよ。
腹が立つな。
ある保険詐欺調査員は こういった詐欺は想像し得るあらゆる範囲にまで拡大していると言っているわ。
知らなかった。
そりゃそうよ。精神保険の詐欺は合衆国だけでも毎年保険会社や納税者たちから50億ドルも騙し取っているのよ。
こんな犯罪者は牢屋に突っ込んで鍵を捨ててやればいいんだよ。
It's the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, the third edition.
精神科医は DSM を使って法廷制度にまで巧みに浸透しているって知ってる？
法廷にまで？
そう。
The clinical diagnosis of a DSM-4 mental disorder is not sufficient to establish the existence for legal purposes of a mental disorder. That's a very interesting point. Basically, what the authors are saying here is that the material in the DSM has no utility in the courtroom in deciding guilt or innocence. It should not be used in courtrooms as part of the legal process.
ちょっと待って。DSM 自体が法廷で精神障害の存在を主張するのに使えないって言ってるの？
ええ。でも常にこれは使われているのよ。
ああ、心神喪失抗弁とか。
養育権の争い、民事上の公金、兼任裁判所でもね。
法廷で対立する精神科医同士の証言で、両者が同じ DSM を使っているというのを聞いたことがあるよ。それでも専門家の承認なんて言われてるらしいよ。
As far as I could see, for psychosis or delusions. Because he's suffering from narcissistic personality disorder and a delusional disorder.
全く矛盾してるわ。かつてはこうじゃなかったの。
In the beginning of the 20th century, a psychiatrist in a courtroom would be laughed out of the courtroom by and large. Today, it's commonly accepted testimony as long as it's in accord with the DSM.
The danger in using the DSM in a court setting is that you're using a vocabulary that the judge or the jury doesn't fully understand. They are, by concocting these psychobabble words, it makes it seem like there's something there that may not be there.
The courts have allowed all this junk science to come into the courts, and they've made case law on it. And once the case law is made, we're stuck with it until it gets overridden.
They come in with tests, they come in with their diagnostic categories from the DSM, and they say, we've done tests, we've determined that this person has this numbered malady, and therefore they do. And there's almost no way to pry a judge out of accepting that.
When a psychiatrist makes a diagnosis in court, is that the person is sent to a mental institution, deprived of liberty, and we have no idea whether he's guilty or not.
それはひどいな。
精神科医の独断でいつでも誰でも全てを失う可能性があるの。これを見てみて。
I went to a stop smoking course at Vanderbilt, and the doctor, the lady that ran the program, said that she goes, we need to get you on a stop smoking medication. So she prescribed me Zyban. Well, after the fact, I find out that Zyban is nothing but this really powerful antidepressant called Wellbutrin. Yeah, I stopped smoking, but I had no idea the hell. I mean, the hell. The hell's gates were being opened when I started taking Zyban. I had been clean and sober for 18 years. Just never considered that. But something about that, I started experiencing the craving to drink again, and my life fell apart. Divorce, relapse. So then a sibling of mine got wind of my relapse, wanted to gain control of my pocketbook and my life, and found the dirtiest lawyer in town who knew, one of the dirty psychiatrists, and bought and paid for an evaluation, had a hearing in a court before I was ever served notice. And the next thing I know, every right that a human being can possibly have was taken from me. And you have less rights as a conserved person than you do as a criminal. I mean, you are stripped of every right. You can't enter into a contract. You cannot marry. You cannot sue. You cannot even fight the legal system that has involuntarily put you in this. And it was all based on the psychiatrist's diagnosis, who never evaluated me.
信じられないね。タバコをやめようとしただけで精神科医の診断を受け、権利を全てなくしたなんて。
さらにお金を全て奪われ、精神施設にまで入れられたんだものね。でも法定制度において精神科医が個人に対してよりも家族に対してすることはもっとひどいのよ。
Children are taken away from parents every day in these juvenile courts because a person with a PhD or an MD after their name comes in and says, I've shown ink blots to a person, and they may be a risk to a child. Just in my little state of Massachusetts here, there are 11,000 children in captivity taken away from families at any one moment. And almost all of those children are being drugged. And our own commissioner of children and families testified under oath that they drug 88% of the children that they take out of the families.
88% も？ほぼ全員じゃん。
これは氷山の一角に過ぎないわ。世界中で精神科医は法廷を利用して人の権利を剥奪したり、家庭を破壊したりしているの。見てみて。
Psychiatry has affected my family through the family law court rulings. The family law court has a court-appointed child psychiatrist who, it appears, determines the future of the child.
It's just like a business in the court system that they forced you to undergo all of these psychological evaluations, and you have to pay thousands of dollars, but at the end of the day, it has been supported by no evidence, nothing.
They'd said to me, Deb, you have a choice. Either you bring your son to get medicated, or we'll take your child away from you and put him in a home that they'll medicate your child. And then good luck. Basically, they were saying, good luck, Deb, to try and get your son back, but you'll get him back medicated anyways.
And they put her in hospital, and that's when the psychotropic drugging started with Becky. And at that stage, I had no say over it.
They refused to let her go. They would not let my daughter go unless she take medication.
This was again a recommendation from the psychiatrist that once my son was radically ripped from his home and literally kidnapped and put in a new home with a perpetrator of domestic violence and of sexual assault, and is where he now lives, this psychiatrist said that he was never to have any counselling and never to see anybody.
To have your family just disrupted like that, ripped out from under you, really, your whole life, just gone like that, and then you have to fight every day to get him back. It was very devastating.
In some ways, it's worse than a death because it's unresolved, and you know what the truth is. And you feel like giving up and not fighting back for that custody of that child, but you can't. Yeah, there's just no justice.
これはひどい。法廷での独断的な診断によって家族が離れ離れになるなんて。
そうね。
So it's unfortunate that the courts have bought into the DSM. It's unfortunate that the whole psychiatric profession is wedded to the DSM. It's unfortunate that the psychiatric profession is in bed with the drug industry, and it's unfortunate that drugs that don't work are the common prescribed drugs for all manner of conditions in children and in adults. It's the wrong way to go.
まさか赤ちゃんまで？
そうなの。赤ちゃんは精神医学にとって巨大な市場の標的にされているのよ。 DSM にリストされている幼児障害の数は1952年に3つだったのが今では44になってるの。
15倍以上じゃないか。
でも DSM は基本的に幼児を診断すべきじゃないと認めてるの。
In early childhood, it may be difficult to distinguish symptoms of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder from age-appropriate behaviors in active children, such as running around or being noisy. We basically don't know the diagnosis from normal childhood. That's what that's saying.
注意欠陥多動性障害。つまりこれは精神科医が教室でじっとしていられない、そわそわする、走り回ったりする子供に対する評価なんだ。普通の子の行動じゃん。
そう、世界中の2000万人の子供が何らかの精神障害とレッテルを貼られたの。
子供を子供らしくさせておく代わりに、
今精神科医は子供が精神病で薬が必要だと保護者に伝えているの。
It used to be that you were on the playground, you had the weird kid, you had the shy kid, you had the goof off, you had the hyper kid. You can't have that anymore. Now it's all medical diagnoses.
For them to come up with new diseases and new issues and diagnosis in their book, it doesn't correct bad behavior, okay? They can give children all the pills they want. It still doesn't correct bad behavior.
The thinking still is, you must fit into this mold. And if you don't fit into this mold, there's something wrong with you. And if you're not the person who designs the mold, too bad for you.
A child is labeled and then they're brought to professionals who are trained a very particular way. They're all being trained that if the child fits into this category, then we should consider putting them on Ritalin because that's what they do. That is the protocol.
The way the Ritalin will be marketed to the parents is that they will say, this is a drug to calm your child down. What they won't say is that methylphenidate is a form of speed. It's a form of amphetamine, and what we're actually doing is overdosing your child on speed.
It's a stimulant, so naturally it's going to increase heart rate, increase blood pressure, and you put a kid out on a football field on a hot summer day, and his risk of having a cardiac event of some sort has just gone up.
注意力の欠如という診断に対し、子供に与えられる興奮剤は科学的にはコカインと同じなんだって。
しかもこれはかなり乱用される確率が高いの。合衆国のリストではモルヒネ、アヘン、覚醒剤と同じカテゴリーになってるのよ。
じゃあ誰が次に精神科医の薬漬けの標的になるの？赤ちゃん？
その通り。彼らは診断基準0歳から3歳まで、通称 DC03 を使っているの。幼児版の DSM みたいなものね。これを見てみて。
We already targeted our school children with ADHD and bipolar. That's already done. That was done 20 years ago. And we're moving younger with DC03 to the 0 to 3 age group where they're trying to make popular the idea that it's okay to medicate 0 to 3-year-olds.
The idea of a program to determine whether a child from birth to the age of 3 has a mental illness is so preposterous, so absolutely insane, that it's simply an additional part of the insanity that is now extant throughout this country. I cannot think of a program that is more insane than that.
How are they going to diagnose a 1-year-old or an infant with a psychological disorder? How do they know?
You almost have to ask ourselves, if our societies become sick, what are we doing to our fetuses, our infants, our children, that would make us need to have psychiatric medications?
We're rolling dice with life. We're rolling dice with our children who can't even discuss it with anybody. They have no control. They are the helpless victims, and the ones who are supposed to protect them and care aren't armed with the facts.
親がこれを知ったら激怒するだろうな。
もちろんよ。しかも DSM では子供から精神病が伝染する恐れがあるとも忠告しているの。
本当かよ。
DSM にある通りよ。
We're going to talk about some of the proposed changes that are suggested for DSM-5.
DSM-5 は DSM-4 よりももっと過激になるって聞いたけど。
その通り。
You've got 374 named diagnoses in DSM. Well, guess what? There's going to be more in DSM-5.
Why do we all of a sudden need a fifth DSM-5? Psychiatry wanted to broaden the horizons of mental health problems, of disorders. They wanted to stretch the disorders so it would encompass more. And to do that, they're going to add more diagnoses.
We need more diagnoses like we need a hole in the head, really. They're not serving a purpose for mankind, all these diagnoses. They're almost laughable, some of the diagnoses.
笑える？本当に？
あまり物を捨てられない人は貯蔵障害だと言っているの。
Persistent difficulty discarding or parting with personal possessions.
頻繁に食べ過ぎることがあるなら気晴らし食い障害。
Recurrent episodes of binge eating.
それと皮膚摘み取り障害っていうのもあるの。
So it's recurrent skin picking resulting in skin lesions.
全部精神障害？
それと大量の子供を捕まえるために双極性とまではいかないけど癇癪を起こす子供に対する新しい障害まであるの。
They've created temperate dysregulation disorder to seem a little bit more mild of the condition and include a lot of the younger population in terms of that diagnosis. And what it essentially does, it just broadens bipolar disorder into a whole other new category. And where they don't fit into bipolar, now they can fit into this other diagnosing criteria.
網がどんどん大きくなってるわけだ。
想像以上にね。彼らはパソコンに過剰に時間を費やすことにもレッテルを貼ろうとしているの。
Internet addiction diagnosis. It's another example of, just taking something going on in the popular culture that's, pretty widespread, and then finding a way to pathologize it.
I know people personally that spend 12, 13, 14 hours a day on the internet or social networking groups like Facebook. So there is something going on there. But is it a condition that we need to then label and drug? Absolutely not.
これは笑えるね。
そうね。でも中国では政府が10代の若者の異常なほどのコンピューター使用を治療するために特別な精神施設まで設立し、電気ショックで治そうとしているの。
まさか。
このひどさはそんなもんじゃないわ。次の DSM には本当に恐ろしいものが提案されているの。
もっとひどいの？
これは精神障害の診断をさらに大きく拡大させるの。精神病リスク症候群、つまり最近では微弱精神病症候群という複雑な名前で知られているものよ。
すごい名前だね。でも何なのそれ？
A really scary thing that's coming on the horizon is to come up with a whole bunch of diagnoses in there that are looking at people who currently are mentally well adjusted but have a risk of developing a mental illness in the future.
They're still thinking they can define well before the symptoms develop the risk of a person developing a major mental disorder without any biochemical, biological or genetic tests or any physical test whatsoever.
They don't know the cause of a mental illness. They can't treat it, they can't cure it. So how can they launch a preventative campaign for mental illness? It just logically, it falters.
ちょっと待って。精神科医は本当に将来障害が起こると予測することができると思ってるの？
本人の言葉を聞いてみよう。
How can psychiatrists know if you're going to have a mental disorder in the future?
Again, that we don't know categorically who will develop psychiatric illness in the future.
It's really hard to say, actually. I don't know if you could 100% predict for anybody.
You can't forecast if one will develop a psychiatric disorder.
Maybe not, or maybe yes.
It's hard to predict.
It's hard to predict.
There's no way to predict that.
Well, I don't think that nobody knows that.
There's no way to tell.
Nobody knows?
I don't think anyone can know what's going to happen in the future.
誰にもわからないんじゃん。
そういうこと。それにもかかわらず、彼らは子供がいずれ精神病になるかどうかを発見するテストを提案しているの。
今から治療するために？
その通り。
I would hate to see us go into the type of society where people are
locked up for what they may do in the future rather than what they actually have done.
Identifying people who are pre-psychotic would be a huge industry.
うわ、それは本当に恐ろしいね。
でも馬鹿げたことに、最も影響力を持つ精神科医の何人かが DSM には何の価値もないと明らかに認めているにもかかわらず、精神科医は DSM-5 を推し進めているの。
Any comment on DSM-5? It's of no use to us in the rest of the world.
米国国立精神保健研究所の責任者もこれを支援していないの。
I don't do DSM. I'm not involved. So, and that maybe tells you more than anything. NIH is not involved with DSM.
世界最大の政府運営の精神医学組織の長が DSM とは関わりたくないっていうわけ？
そうみたいね。これは完全な詐欺なの。
The Diagnostic and Statistical Manual is effectively the story that is being wrapped up in statistics and numbers and categories that when medicine tosses, doesn't fit any of our categories over to psychiatry, psychiatry says we'll find a category, and if we don't, DSM-5 or 6 or 7 will.
I think in 2016 we'll be looking at DSM-6 and there will be 1,425 diagnoses and I'll have 900 of them.
狂ってるよ。
そうね。この全ては精神科医がより多くの人々を診断できるようにするシステムなの。
そして普通の振る舞いから彼らは利益を得ることができるというわけか。
そういうことなの。
それじゃあ DSM がそんなに役に立たないならなぜ精神科医は、あ、わかった、金ってことか。でしょ？
そう、精神医学はいつもお金が中心なの。それは全て DSM から始まるのよ。ロバート・スピッツァー曰く。
The American Psychiatric Association found out it could make a lot of money by selling it. They've made a tremendous amount of money.
Every time they revise the DSM system, the American Psychiatric Association makes a hell of a lot of money.
大儲け？それってどれくらい儲けてんの？
毎年650万ドルよ。
そんなに？
でも儲けは DSM の売り上げだけじゃないの。精神科医たちと製薬会社は誰か診断するたびに儲かるの。
You create disorders so that you can treat it with a drug. It's the ultimate money-making machine.
How many people can we drug? How many labels can we put out there? How many people can we herd into these labels and feed them a drug so we can get richer, make more money?
There's an inherent conflict of interest, and that conflict of interest is driven by the desire to make money. More money, more money, more money than one should expect.
Huge money in the psychopharm business. If you really did the research on these diagnoses, see that 90% of them or more don't exist. They're not valid. Then that's all of a sudden, all that reimbursement from the insurance companies disappears.
So we have to cut the money cord, as well as cutting the DSM cord if we're ever going to really succeed stopping this juggernaut from continuing.
And once again, it's follow the money. And you'll get your answer every time.
これには本当に驚いたよ。ということは、いわゆる精神障害には何の試験結果もなく、精神科医はそのマニュアルで定義することさえできないし、化学物質の不均衡理論は完全にインチキであっても脳の化学物質に均衡を保たせると主張された精神薬があらゆる年齢の人々に処方されている。
それも毎年840億ドル分もね。それによって合衆国だけでも健康保険料が全部で100億ドルも高くなったの。
僕らの税金と保険料はこれを賄うために払われていたのか。
その通り。しかも精神医療業界は DSM によって毎年3300億ドルもかき集めているの。
1兆ドルの3分の1じゃないか。
手がつけられないほど大きくなっているのよ。
Well, the whole system is now a runaway train, but the DSM is the locomotive. And if you took the locomotive off, eventually the train would stop, because there'd be nothing more pulling it.
We're losing the concept of health. Everybody is sick and everybody's got a condition and everybody needs drugs.
You're going to end up with a whole society that's going to basically have to be led around by the hand. But who's going to lead them around? Because they're drugging so many of them.
In psychiatry, you know in your heart of hearts that you're not really diagnosing. You know in your heart of hearts that you can't really treat what you think might be wrong. And you also know that most of what you're dealing with in the DSM is unprovable and unreliable, not a predictable indicator. So what do you have then?
いい質問だね。何もないみたいだね。
そして人々は傷つく一方なの。
そうだね。
You're very lucky to go through psychiatry and survive. It really is as simple as that.
Only when enough people rip the veneer away and show that it's just nothing more than a Hollywood set is it ever going to fall down.
It would be good if all the medical professionals who are really practicing medicine and really trying to help people and based on scientific fact and what they can best do to improve the lives of others, if they would recognize, just be able to look at this fact. It's hard to look at it, but look at this fact and be ethical and be honest and clean up the profession by getting rid of this fraudulent part of it. Psychiatry.
全くその通りだね。明らかに社会を脅かすこの DSM を取り除かなくてはならないね。
そうね。かなり頼りない裏付けにもかかわらず、診断統計マニュアルは私たちの世界のあらゆるところに影響を与えているの。
学校や政府、
法廷制度、
メディアや軍隊には？
彼らにもよ。
っていうことは社会全体にだ。
それでも治癒したという結果はないの。
DSM はトランプの城のように脆いだけでなく、
診断統計マニュアルは精神医学による悪徳商法なの。